Demon Slayer Infinity Castle, aka the perfect edgeathon, was in my eyes a good 6.5 out of 10. Seeing a 6.5 may alarm you, but that's above average to me. I felt like it was a decent film. 6.5 isn't bad in any regards. I'm just a tough critic and I look at everything I've rated in the past. For example, I've given Broly, my favorite anime movie, a 9. It's still a good film. I enjoyed many parts of the movie, obviously the action, and yeah, so don't take that as me saying this movie sucked. Before I get into my negatives, I will say some positives of the movie. This is the most visually beautiful movie I've ever seen. I watched it in IMAX, and the sounds were amazing. The music, the sounds of the hits, everything. The scenery was beautiful. Best animation I've ever seen, and I think everyone could say that. But I feel like a lot of people are blindsided by the animation, and they're just saying it's peak because the fights were beautiful. I'm still viewing this as a movie, so I'm going to be judging how the movie was laid out, the plots, and everything. So I feel a lot of people are easily amused by the pretty colors, and they see good animation. They think it's peak. It's not peak. The fact that I went in blind, I didn't see any trailers, I didn't see any posters for it, so I didn't know Akaza was going to be in the film. So when he showed up, oh my god, that was the perfect, Tanjiro shout. I love when Tanjiro rages. When he shouted Akaza, like it was perfect. There was many times during the film I was jumping with excitement. Then I got edged on because then I went to the backstory. I was so excited. I was sending texts about how I expect to come from this movie while in theaters. I have all my wallpaper set as Demon Slayer characters. Like I was fully prepared. I went dressed up. I was so excited. Obviously, everyone's saying it. There was a lot of backstory, and that's primarily the main reason I had many negative points towards this movie. And I understand backstory is essential. I get that, but some things I just didn't like, especially the pacing and timing of the inputting of the backstories. Now, this is why I feel like this could have been a good season, a good 24 episode season. I would have been more accepting to have these backstories be inputted versus seeing it in a movie theater, especially when I saw it in IMAX last night. I just didn't like being edged, many times during the fights. They would just randomly, at random points too, really go into a backstory. And once the backstory finished, I kind of didn't care much for the rest of the fights, because sometimes during the fight they would come back with another backstory. Another thing I didn't like about the movie was Tanjiro's transparent Ultra Instinct state he has, that he just randomly remembered from his nobody exotic dancer of a father. Everyone reminds Tanjiro of someone. Like Akaza, he said it last night, that Tanjiro reminds him. He somehow said the exact perfect words that reminded him of his dojo sensei. And Tokito would say, "Oh, Tanjiro, you remind me of my father." And Tanjiro, this, that. Tanjiro always says the exact words, and I'm not a fan of that. I'm not a fan of that whatsoever. I mean, even if it's like, oh, he's the destined one. I don't know if he's some sort of deity or anything like that, but yeah, I didn't like him getting a new transparent state that no Hashira has ever thought of. Only Tanjiro knows it because his, like I said, father told him there's a transparent state. The way Akaza went out was also another negative for me. I did not like the fact that he had to go out killing himself, essentially. I understand, yes, he wanted to kill the weakest, and he viewed himself as so weak because he couldn't save his family, blah, blah, blah. I don't care. In my eyes, it would have been a better ending for when Tanjiro cut off his head. He tried to put his head back down, and Giyu-san, he threw his sword off. They obviously could have dramatized it more if that truly was the ending. But I feel like that would have been a nicer ending, and Tanjiro stepping over him, looking down on him kind of thing. Wasn't much a fan of Akaza, just, I know they did it so they could show how strong Akaza is without his head still, but I didn't like it. Another positive for me was the Upper Two Demon. I ever since I first met him, I just knew he was going to be my favorite. Last night, he showed why to me. I really think he's going to be up there. He was very funny. I mean, when he grabbed Shinobu, called her commendable, that's pretty fucking insane to do, I thought he was great. So yes, the backstories and Tanjiro's new transparent state were the main reasons why it got negative points for me. I think backstories, yes, are important, but man, I feel like they were just inputted very wrongly at wrong times, dragged on for too long, and this is why, to me, I feel like this would have been better as a 24 episode season in the anime. So yeah, but once again, 6.5 is not bad. I see a lot of people thinking that it would be bad, but no, it was a good movie that just I was falling asleep almost with the backstories. I really did not care for most of them, and they didn't add much to me. In a movie sense, remember this is a movie level thing, so I feel like seeing it in an anime, I would have accepted it and just be like, okay, so this episode's backstory, okay, that's fine. I would. It's a 20-minute episode. I'll be fine, kind of thing. When I see it in a movie, bleh. Let me know what you guys think down below. I'm already fully expecting me to be called words that I should not even be saying. But that's okay. I know a lot of people are easily amused, and I know if you're going to argue with me, you probably are one of them.